So over here on Navigraph charts, I'm going to take off from Newark. And as you can see at the top of the screen here, I'm just doing a rundown to Dulles. But instead of going direct, I wanted to have a little bit of length in time to simulate, some cruise ops. And so we just did our own special route, coming down a little bit out on the outside and then doing this arrival into Dulles. So it's I know that a 747 doesn't do a 390 nautical mile trip very often, but it's not a route that would be authorized for ATC between these two airports. And the other question is VATSIM online in this sector? I don't even know. Yeah. Boss Bud signed up late in December. Yeah. No external doors lock. What? Boss Bud Gaming, there is a spreadsheet in the Discord that shows all the qualifiers. Yeah. Okay, so let's go down here to the menu. I'm going to do what? How do you do your block fuel through SimBrief, or how do you do a performance calculator?
No, I do all of it through SimBrief.
Okay.
And what I do for each airplane I have, I don't know if you do this with any of yours, but I'll go through because SimBrief is kind of a generic 747 they use.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll go through with the specific, in this case, the PMDG, and look at what the PMDG has listed as its zero fuel max and what it has as maximum takeoff weight and all that stuff, maximum passenger load. And I'll go edit the file in SimBrief so that way when I do auto generate loads, it won't give me, hey, you have 430 passengers. Well, this plane only says it can take 420. So now what do I do? It's that kind of stuff.
So where do you go get those? You get those numbers.
So I get those numbers from like in this case, I'll look at, I'll get them from a few places depending on how well the information is presented to me. But for the PMDG, you can pretty much get all that information out of the FMC. When you're looking at your payload and your fuel capacities there, I'll just set stuff to 100 initially just to see what my total capacities are.
Okay.
And then use those numbers to load into SimBrief so that way it knows what
Okay.
it can't give me more of.
So in this case, if let's see, I want to look. Wait, can I go to look at the? No. How do I quickly get to the OFP if I've already generated it? Can you go back?
My flights.
Can
Yeah.
you do it in my flights? Because I see the load, but I don't see the. What I'm saying is, does it come up with when you hit load? Does it come up with the dispatch? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So here is where I don't change a lot in here, and the reason I'm using SimBrief more and more is just because of that automatic import function via the SimBrief downloader. So I guess if I put in, like I learned yesterday, I'm assuming it's the same with this plane. If I put in my is it my call sign? I can request the information
Yeah, I think so.
under route. I think it's under. Well, let's go.
It'd be under
Oh, I
route.
don't have route yet because the plane's not on. So let me
That would
connect
help.
some power. So FS actions, ground connections. I saw some equipment out front. It says dual jetway plugs, but I'm not on a jetway.
Yeah, it defaults. So this is another thing that I set up ahead of time, so that way it defaults how I want it to. I have it default to the ground cart because even the jetway plugs, even if I'm at a jetway, it's that little stupid box that it sticks right by the nose of the plane
Mm.
that I guess in real life would be physically attached to the jetway, but of course in the sim it never is. It looks like dumb. So I go in and I've edited the cold and dark startup to be the dual GPU plugs instead of the jetway plugs.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna
then I
change
usually have
this
the.
to. Oh wait, I need. Okay,
I
wait.
think you have to release it
Sorry,
first in order to
release.
change
Okay,
it.
release.
Which is the reason why I do this in the cold and dark thing because it takes a while. You got to wait for the little car to come and take it away, or in this
Oh,
case,
it
just
comes and animates
it
that
won't.
whole thing, huh?
Yeah, this won't animate the car because it's jetway plug. It'll just disconnect. But you see that little box sitting right there by your nose wheel? That's what that jetway plug is.
Okay.
Just there. Now it's gone.
Oh,
And
and
then
I
when you call for the GPU, it'll now drag the car out.
look at the fuel truck. I've got the so
What's going on there?
yeah,
Some
exactly.
Inception nonsense going on.
I've got I've got the one that connects to the ground as well as the fuel truck itself.
That's hilarious.
That's kind of funny. Let me hit the dual single GPU plug. Is that what you do?
I always do dual.
Dual. Okay. And then I request that, right?
Yeah. 53 North. No, you do not have to do that every time you do your route plan or anything. You can save an aircraft as a part of your fleet in SimBrief, and then when you select your aircraft, your airframe, just pick that one, and it'll retain all your settings.
Hmm. B747 maintenance and reposition flights of 5 to 50ish miles are always great fun. Yeah. I guess I could tell, I mean, I could file and say, hey, we're doing a relocation. And we're also doing some avionics testing on, so we need this route with VATSIM if they were online. Piper Alex, how you doing? Used to ferry the 7-4 from San Francisco to Oakland for maintenance. That's pretty cool. What would your height? What would you get up to about 6,000 feet maybe? Jay Barrett is here. M9 Aviation. You have the double ender fuel truck. I know. I saw that. Yeah, another new plane, Jay. Yeah. How much fuel do you need today, sir? Yes. I the BA does a couple of the small ones. Um, that's the thing is I'm gonna attempt to bring in. I'm gonna attempt to bring in the route from the SimBrief downloader. Okay, so all right, talk me through this. So are we just gonna hit the battery
Yeah. So first thing, battery on, and then standby power to auto.
and standby power to auto, and then external power 1 and 2.
Yep. Just a note: if you're flying the freighter, you'll need to turn one of the external powers off when you try to open either the main side cargo door or the nose cargo door. It's something to do with it needs to load shed or something, and so it can't have the two sources at the same time.
Okay. All right. So now I'm assuming I can click on FMC and route. Yeah. So there's route, and I think it's under. There's route select. Gosh, they showed me this yesterday. Was it the
It's a company route, is what you're going to have to
so
put
once
in,
I
I
put in
think.
the two different things and then okay, so I think I have to put in the airports. I
I
think.
think so. I think so.
Okay, EWR Newark. Yeah, we're going to IAD. And then was it route select or was it company route?
Try route select. I think it. I don't know.
It's
I don't
got
do it very
route
often.
files in there right there. Boom.
Okay, so that might be it.
Yep, Newark to IAD.
There we go.
Sweet. Data link is not ready. ACARS login required. What?
What does that mean? Hit select. Just actually put your flight number in there at the top. See if that.
United 572. We got a subscribe. Oh,
Heading for 2 years,
Carathis.
buddy. Been great. Keep up the fun.
I'm late with these bad boys, but the Invisisticks will be will be in play a little bit today. Carathis 78. Thank you for the subscribe. Headed for 2 years, baby. Yeah, nice. Thank you for the support. I was late on the Invisisticks. Oh crap! I just changed my view. Something just changed. Okay. All right. So United 572 in the flight number. No, it doesn't like that. It's interesting how
Hit.
I just hit
Let's.
select. Let's see if it's in there.
Yeah. I was
No,
gonna
it's
say
not in there.
no.
So apparently this is yeah. You got
What's?
Invisisticks. Apparently,
Oh, you know what? I bet it's going on. Go back to the route page. Because this happens with the ACARs in the 747, which you access through the middle CDU down on the pedestal. It has to have the flight number in this page before anything will go on in there. So put the flight number here first of all.
Okay. And then do company route maybe, huh?
And either that, or if it still doesn't work, then we'll go down to the ACARS CDU and see if there's something we need to initialize there.
Data link not ready. ACARS login required.
Yeah, see the ACARS isn't set up yet. So let's go down to the middle CDU on the pedestal.
All right, ACARS.
Go to ACARS there. Pre-flight.
Pre-flight.
And go ahead and put your origin. The annoying thing is you have to do the origin and destination stations again, which is kind of annoying.
It's KEWR. KIAD. Okay.
And then it's going to want your estimated time en route, which is you can get from SimBrief. It'll say that in
1:15 is the scheduled time en route.
Yeah, that's well. Actually, have you exported the OFP yet? Not exported.
Yes.
But okay. So whatever in those first two boxes, I mean, this really doesn't matter for long-term stuff, but there's two. It gives you a block time and a air time, and I always put the air time in the estimated time en route.
Is that going to be? Should I go look at that file that I exported, or would it be on this? Would it be here on SimBrief?
It'll be on SimBrief, but it won't be in this part. This is the place where you're gonna before you dispatch.
Yeah.
This is in the. You need to go to your actual flight plan. This is the dispatch option. So if you go to my briefing.
Okay. Probably ask, but are you going to fly online? I'm not opposed to flying online if we get some controllers, but I don't think there's any controllers in this sector right now. I could fly on Pilot Edge if anyone wanted to join. Okay, so here we got airtime 110 and block time 138. That's excellent.
So I use airtime because that's wheels up to wheels down.
And that goes in the ETE?
Yeah.
So we'll do...
Hello, John and chat.
Legitimate
6 months already.
Use of the Invisisticks. 6 months. Thank you, Alt F8. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the awesome liveries that you do for Snack Air. And Black Diamond, good day, sir. And
Black Diamond.
Infinite, how you doing? And he gave out some subs too. So I'm gonna do 0. I believe I do 0, 1, 1 0 in the ETE. Okay. And then airline ID?
You don't need airline ID. It does want the estimated time of departure in UTC. You can just put, whatever you want there because it's not going to matter if you're late. That's just what you're estimating you're going to depart at. So if your current time is 1951, you could put 2020 just for kicks and giggles, and then I doubt we'll get out of here by then. But
I'll just do 21:15.
There you go.
Just way not what we're going to do, but okay, 21:15. All right.
So I put that in estimated, and then it should. It's not bringing up what's missing here.
Maybe it does want airline ID potentially. DC Center is up and running on VATSIM. Uh-oh. Real life kicking in hard lately, Alt F8. Well, I hope you have a great start to the new year.
I wonder if it needs you to initialize the IRS system for the rest of this to happen.
I could do that.
That's very possible. While you're doing that, I'm gonna boot up P3D myself so I can experiment with some of this stuff.
Okay, and then do I just go ahead and go to nav on left, right, and then center, or is there a?
You can go straight across, left, center, right. I just go left, center, right. Just go like you're reading. But yeah, straight to nav.
And then do I want to do the position init on the FMC before I try the company route? Maybe.
You might as well. It's probably a good idea.
All right, I'm just going to take the GPS position, and I'm going to also put in the reference airport. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to route. All right, so down here, you were looking for something particular on the ACARS menu?
There it is, the D-Link connector. Right there.
Okay, so you're right about the nav.
push that, and it'll start to sync up the ACAR system.
And that won't bring over the company route, though. That's just...
No, but that now that it's doing that D-Link sync, you may have to wait until that clears and is done. But I think now you should be able to do, once the ACARS is done doing what it's got to do, the ACARS is now logged in, and so you should be able to do your company.
Okay. Do you have to do that every time?
You don't. I mean, if you're not going to do the import, you don't even have to touch the ACARS. I usually do it just so I have accurate wheels up, wheels off, wheels on, wheels in time.
And wins. It
for
will bring in
logging.
wins too, won't it?
Yeah, I think so. So I usually do it. I just don't usually do it in this order. I do my initial flows, and I'll do the ACARS stuff after I'm done doing the flyby, because I usually put my flight plans in manually. It just gives me something to do while the GSX is boarding the people. So.
Okay. And St. Wilfred, getting ready to take apart my Cytec rudder pedals. Right toe brake broken. Pretty sure spring mount broke. Oh, plane maintenance is real for sure. Good luck with that project, MacGyver. Flight Simmer, I'm good. I'm great. How are you doing? I'm so happy to have Moosestaffa here with me. So as this is done, I guess once it says it's got the asterisks or whatever, I think we can.
Yeah, so I think it's done doing it.
All right, so we'll come back up here and we'll do. It does have request send now.
Yeah, so that's better. So go ahead and do that request send, just like we were doing before. Let's see what happens.
And then it says, I guess, request.
Yeah, that's already better.
Okay, it says request sent.
Well, it says sending there, so that's good.
Oh,
There's send, yeah. So now go down, just hit the...
subscribe.
P3D, for shame.
Fish go blue with the subscribe. I know, P3D for shame. No kidding. Thank you, Fish go blue. Moosestaffa, thank you. And my instructor is like, what is all this subscribe stuff? The student is saying. All right, so now it says Route 1 uplink ready. So load.
Yeah, load.
Uplink loading. One of the reasons that I like the idea of bringing in the plan from SimBrief is for time saving, but in this case, I probably could have done the plan manually faster. So I'll probably alternate between these two ways of doing it, right?
And once you know what you're doing, right now you're just kind of like learning how to do it. Once you know how to do it, and if you had a route that was like a transatlantic route for some reason, then yes, this would be much faster.
Okay. The RAV 2000, yeah, I already do love this plane, sadly. Josh Gameplays, hello. Blue Idol Kuji, yeah, the Invisisticks are making a rare appearance. +1 for the crosswinds. MFG cross, yeah, I have MFG crosswinds, they're amazing. I had to mount my MFG crosswinds on a piece of plywood, square piece of plywood that my father-in-law cut out for me and painted it, and he mounted them on the board. Really nice of him. He's not even a simmer. All right, so now should I do an activate?
You can. I would usually go through and check your route before I activate it. So just make sure everything.
Would you designate a runway in this route page?
In the not there, but you can check departure arrival. That's where you would do that on the actual.
You wouldn't do it here. Okay.
I don't ever do it. I don't put it in manually. I go into the departure arrival button and I'll specify the runway, the SID, and all that stuff there. And same thing with the star. And it'll put that in there, whatever I pick.
Okay. Josh Gameplays. Yeah, I didn't mess up your name yet. The day is early, so Velcro on the floor. That would probably work in some cases. Okay, so it looks like it brought in the perfect flight plan. I was looking at the different situations coming out of Newark, and I guess there are 2 SIDs, but I guess most of the time it's not used in the real world. They just do a vectored departure.
Oh, okay.
And so we're going to simulate a vector departure. So we're just going to take off, and then we're going to go direct to park. And then Sussel, MRB, CSN, and then thump. And okay. And then that looks good.
Yeah, so in that case, if you're just going to do vectors, go to departure arrival and just select a runway. Don't select a SID. And then you can insert that. And that way the FMC lines up. It'll be happy that way, and it'll give you V speeds and everything else.
All right, so I'm going to go to 22 right. And now I can activate.
Yes.
All right. Did this bring in some? This brought in a little bit of perf stuff, didn't it? But no, I didn't. I didn't auto-populate this, but it says wind data uplink ready, so that's good. We'll mess with that later. Wait, I put in the 0 fuel weight first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my cruise altitude is going to be, what was set up here? 320. Tylenol with wings. Good day, sir. Good Thursday to you. It is. Yeah, it's Thursday, right? Yeah. Offline flights tend to have a lot of directs. ATC is so kind when you are on your own ATC. Yeah. Okay, so where does it designate my... Back to the briefing here. Where does it designate the reserve?
So for that, you're going to have to look at the actual text version of the plan. And are you using the standard Lido, or did you pick a different layout for your flight plan? If you didn't touch it, then it's Lido.
I think I didn't touch it, but I can't.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can go back there and check.
That's fine. Scroll down to below the map there. I'm on a little bit of a time delay here from you with the stream, so I gotta.
Hopefully the latency's okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but although right now apparently. There we go. Okay, so you're looking at planned fuel. So you see the alternate and final reserve. What I use as my reserve amount is I'll add those two together, the alternate fuel and the final reserve fuel.
So
and that will give me
13 plus 18, so 21. We'll call it 22.
Yeah.
So you'd put in, all right. London controller, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for your streams. They're fantastic. In fact, just a sidestep here for a second. What do you mean 32? Oh, 32 for the two together. You're right. 20 plus 30. Yeah, 32. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
My math was
Right.
my math was off there.
I don't do math on vacation, so.
London controller. So, I don't know if you're currently a member of a Twitch team, but the Global Sim Alliance would love to have you on their Twitch team if you would consider that. That would be an honor for us. Don't know if you're on a current team right now or not, but he's got a good quality stream. All right, so 32. All right, so I put in. Do I put in 3.2.0?
Yeah.
All right, 3.
I think if you just put in 3.2, it would give you the same result, but yeah.
Okay, 3.2 on the reserves. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Yeah. Moosestaffa can tell you it's a fun thing to have on next to your Twitch title.
It is absolutely an honor to be a member of the Global Sim Alliance. So
it really is. It helps with what's discoverability. People can discover other potential streamers to go to. So I'm just gonna send over an invite to you, and let me know if you get an email. You should get an email with the invite, and that we'd be honored to have you. We added Kenko last night, and he accepted this morning. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
European streamers on the Global Sim Alliance. That's awesome.
Those accents. It's in our interest to add these accents to the team.
Absolutely.
Okay, cost index. That's going to be a CI line here on my... Yeah, CI 320. Are you kidding me? Is that real? It says CI 320.
That is hilarious. I always use 80 personally, but that seems really high.
I'm not even joking. I'm assuming that's right there. It says CI 320.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
All right. So you use, what'd you say, 80?
I use 80, and I always know it gives it to me because again, I do that edit in the sim brief for the airplane, so it always knows to default to a cost
Okay.
index of 80 for me. So.
All right. So insufficient fuel. So we need to go do our fuel.
Oh yeah, because you only got 40 on board right now, and 32 of it is reserve.
So and GSX has been beeping at me for an hour. So I'm gonna go FS actions, fuel, and then back over here on the briefing.
Yeah, it'll give you a block fuel recommendation. What is it telling you there?
Block fuel 65,252. Does that sound
Yeah,
about right?
yeah, that's
For
about right.
okay, so we'll put in 65,252. So cost index systems use 1 to 999 and others are 1 to 99. Yeah, you bet. Thank you, London Controller. Everyone tune into a London Controller stream. The guy he's fantastic, and he runs center on one of the busiest airspaces on the planet. So thank you for joining. That's awesome. All right. Anything else I need to do here? No, that looks good. So we're loaded, right? Probably.
Yeah. Now, did you do your? I mean, it's got a load by default. You didn't do anything with payload, right? You just left it at whatever
No, I
default.
didn't do anything with payload. So
Yeah, I would just leave it at this point. You could just do
yeah.
that.
Just out of curiosity, it looks like it has a random set.
Yeah, yeah. You can give it a.
Would
Yeah,
would
yeah.
it
You
have
can
taken
randomize it.
what SimBrief has?
It could have. If you go over to back to SimBrief, it'll actually, if you scroll down further beyond the fuel stuff, it'll give you a passenger count, it'll give you a cargo count, and all that stuff. Gonna try to catch up. Yeah, if you go down, keep going. It's down a little. It's separated a little bit.
There's
Keep going.
payload.
Right there. There you go.
Passengers 398.
Yeah, so that'll fit on the plane. It'll do PMDG. Will do up to 420, I believe, on the passenger count.
So I don't think we have 398 in here because
No, you definitely do not.
so it didn't. It did a random. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I should match that. Just
Could.
based on the fact that no, because we did our gross weights and everything. That's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
you'd have to go back. Yeah, you'd have to go back and redo the perf stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just leave it.
Okay, so just in time to watch the fuel truck go away. I guess it was not. It was a double fuel truck, but it was bent around backwards. But I
Yeah,
think
that was really weird.
it's okay now. Storkman14, thanks for the host. I don't think the alert came up. Oh, I think I have minimum viewer count on the hosting to alert, just because of some people who do not stream will host. Just I guess trying to get the name splash or something. I don't know. So I think that you have to have at least a couple of viewers, I think, to have the alert come up. But it notified me in my chat program. I don't know if it did elsewhere. Okay, so continuing on. I know I'm going super slow. I changed my passenger density to dense yesterday. I'm assuming if I go back up here to GSX and I go to settings and I go to timings, it's still set to dense. Do you change this just because of the speed of the loading of the passengers, or?
Yeah, I usually have it set to now. Actually, I usually do it. What's the notch above? Is there very dense and then
Yeah, and then
insanity? I think it
insane.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for exterior loading, because you're not using a jetway, you're actually gonna have buses come up and
Uh-huh.
offload people. I'll do the at least very dense or insanity because it'll actually look a little bit more realistic. If you do it lower than that, it's like a handful of people at a time walking up the stairs. It just looks like you're gonna take for eons to fill up a 747 that way.
Okay.
And it actually looks really cool. And they all kind of flood out of the bus and are going up the stairs on all
Okay.
three stairs.
And do I have to restart the sim in order for this new setting to change? There was a debate yesterday. Oh, snack! We got a subscribe. Get
Happy
Nick.
New Year, and who's hyped about snow in MFS 2020? Winking face with tongue. Haven't been able to watch much lately, but want to keep the support going.
Get Nick. Thank you for the subscribe. That video yesterday with the snow in 2020 was It's not 2020, by the way. I'm known to be the one who says that. It's just MFS, just MFS. It was good looking. Okay, so back to my question. Will it?
Yeah. That's a question I'm not sure of the answer to either. I've never tried to do it mid GSX. I've always set it ahead of time and then just not touched it afterwards. So you can try moving it up and see what'll happen. The other thing you probably want to go and do, if you're concerned about time in there, is turn off multiple trips in the settings.
Oh, and
Because
where do I
what'll
do
happen,
that? In G.
that's in the settings in GSX. There's what those check boxes were that you were looking at
Okay,
earlier.
multiple trips. Assigned vehicles with capacity can make multiple travels during service. Okay, get rid of that.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah, because
suggestion?
otherwise what'll happen is it'll bring up a bus and it'll unload a bunch of people. Then the bus will back up and drive away all the way around the terminal. Then another bus will come up and for 747 it might do that 4 times and you'll be here forever. So
I just don't know if. Well, looking at the
it'll be kind of
passenger.
like it will be kind of like a clown car though because you'll have tons of people spilling out of one bus. So you weigh the immersion.
Yeah. For me, it changed directly without restarting it. Drill log says, okay.
Yeah, so it might.
Gitnick, thank you so much for the subscribe. I may have, and Gitnick also gave out emotes to a bunch of people. So thank you. I like that stick emote. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna call this, and we're gonna do request boarding. And like I said yesterday, I don't think I'm gonna do this whole GSX every part of it on every stream, because it is rather time consuming.
It is. I'll skip, especially on streams and F&O stuff. I'll skip portions of it if I feel like I need to move things along. So,
speaking of F&O, I'm gonna do my first F&O.
Fantastic. We have been waiting for you.
Yeah. Are you gonna do the Minneapolis F&O?
Oh, absolutely.
And where are you starting?
That's a good question. I hadn't decided yet. So, do you have an idea of where you'd like to start? Because I might.
I'm definitely starting out of Kansas City.
Oh, well, then I will join you.
That's awesome. I just picked up that scenery due to the donation from Max, and I'm going to I'm gonna do Kansas City. It'll be fun today, sometime later tonight or something. I'll do some route planning and I'm so new to VATSIM. I'm assuming that Kansas City will have services on just because it's so close to the Minneapolis sector. But if they don't, do I just go airborne, CTAF calls, and then I contact center once I cross the line of
that? Yeah, that's correct. More than likely they will be online, but same rules apply as if you are flying VATSIM just on any other ho-hum day. If you don't have control, you file your flight plan, you do what you got to do your CTAF calls. As soon as you enter actual controlled airspace, they will take over. And if they need to amend your route for any reason because you did it wrong or something, they'll do that then. But
okay. It says here open
got.
aft cargo and forward cargo.
Yeah, so just scroll down your doors page there to get to the cargo.
Okay, there we go. Aft cargo and forward cargo. Okay. All right, so then will I get a PDC, do you think? Once I check in, or?
It depends on the center and what they're doing. It's kind of a toss-up. Sometimes I get PDC, sometimes I get it as verbal, and it really just kind of goes back and forth. If they're really busy, then they'll usually try and do PDCs, but if they're just only so-so, then they may or may not.
Okay.
The PDC is always a pleasant surprise, though, when you're sitting there on the ground, you haven't even called for a flight plan and approval, and they're just bloop. It's like, oh, well, thank you.
Hey, there we go. We got Josh doing the Santa Max. Yep. I do like the PDC. I'm hoping that Pilot Edge has PDC at some point in the near future. I know that it's obviously on their radar. There was even talk one day about, after they incorporated that, to have a program talk to a little USB label printer, and you could actually physically print out the PDC through a USB printer.
That'd be so cool.
Or maybe that was a dream I was having. That
Maybe. Well, it's a dream. We should make a reality. Let's be real.
it was so gimmicky, but yet a little a little tiny label maker, and then I think that would be pretty cool. And then you could have you could have a stack of PDC sitting in the corner. I think that would be cool. The other thing is I would like one day to try the CP DLC. All right, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to open left entry 1, left entry 2, and 5. I'm getting
Oh yeah, those pilots want to get on the plane.
yeah. So left entry 1, 3, and 5.
No, it's a 1, 2, and 5.
Yeah, 1, 2, and
You'll have to run that one through its arm and then disarm.
5. Oh, yeah.
So hit the disarm one again until it goes to now.
Oh, crap. The front one didn't disarm. I guess it doesn't have chutes. Oh, yes, it does. Disarm, open.
You can't open them from arm. What this thing is doing is you're giving the option to individually arm it or disarm a door or close a door, open a door. So you're just running through the options, yeah. So there you go.
That middle staircase doesn't quite reach that.
Oh, that's weird. They didn't pull up all the way.
I hope the crew goes to the front one.
I believe they do, but the passengers will definitely use that middle one. That's going to be interesting. That's goofy that it didn't go all the way up.
I wonder if they're gonna. Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna fall.
That's goofy. Yeah, no, those guys are going to go to the.
Or I could just tell them to jump.
Yeah. Get the wood planks out and just bridge the gap.
Yeah. I need to learn chase plane better. What do you use a joystick toggle for your zoom in and out?
No, I do. For my zoom in and out, I just use the base keyboard commands, but I
like
use
plus,
the
minus.
The hat. Yeah, I think control plus and minus is zoom, and I think shift plus and minus is physical, like move the camera in and out by default. I think.
The problem with the plus and minus for me is that it's jaggedy. It's not smooth.
Yeah.
And I set up a smooth one with my. Believe it or not, I used my mixture axis on my throttle quadrant to go zoom in and out. It worked for a little while.
That's awesome.
Because the tubes, don't require the mixture access, but the pilots will, but the flight attendants and the passengers using all doors normally, as far as I've seen yet. Okay.
Oh yeah, the flight attendant's got to come out now and do that. This is the part of GSX that I think is a little clunky still, because they have the pilots load, and then the flight attendant's just waiting in the bus out of deference until the pilots are on the plane. Apparently,
it's like they had a bad night last night and they just wanted to have their
we're
space.
not walking the plane with you. Yeah.
You think they're gonna walk on air, Black Diamond?
They're absolutely.
Well, we're about to find out because that flight attendant's going up.
Like
oh, look at that! They are walking on air. Dogo, floaty people.
Hey, yeah.
He called it floaty people.
He absolutely called it. The floaty people are here.
Yeah. 777 Bob, good afternoon. Remove the camera settings in P3D and set them in chase plane, including a hat switch if you have one. We have floaties. We do have floaties. Yeah, I've removed some camera settings, 777 Bob, and yeah, some I have not. I'm not sure which ones are still remaining, but yeah, like plus and minus keys, remove them from P3D and set to chase plane. I need to do that because then I could control the smoothness of it, huh? It's not a bad idea. So we're going to go to controls.
Speaking of that, do you have the NGXU?
I do. That's the reason I got P3D.
Gotcha. Okay. So I've discovered now I still use the S button, which is the default mapped button, to change from the cockpit view to the outside spot view and tower view. It just cycles through them.
Yeah.
When I load the NGXU, that button stops working, and only the NGXU.
And there's nothing assigned to it?
There's nothing else assigned to it.
Nothing else assigned.
I went through the FMC assignments and stuff in the NGXU looking for a double thing. Nope, can't find it. I don't know what the heck. It's the weirdest thing.
Okay, it says it's equal is selection slash zoom. Okay, so if we do zoom, I don't know the answer to that. Maybe someone else does.
Yeah, I'm just
All right,
curious if anyone else had
selection
this problem.
zoom. There is the minus. I'm scared to delete this, but and then I'm gonna what would be the? How come it doesn't have? Oh, it does. It has equals. Oh,
Yeah, I got equals is the plus key. You have to
yeah.
hit shift equals to do plus, I think.
So I'm gonna delete that. Oh, there is a zoom slightly though. Yeah, the shift. Ah, okay. I should let these people keep boarding here. I'm gonna try the shift.
Yeah, the shift one is the one I use.
Oh,
It just
yeah. See, I
goes
like
smooth
that.
out. Yeah.
That is a smooth zoom.
Yeah.
But again, I probably need to do it in chase plane, and then I can bind it to a hat switch or something.
Right.
It's currently fighting chase plane and P3D. Okay. Yeah. Do I have a hat switch? I have a hat switch available. I have this one. Well, I don't know if this one over here is a hat switch. You got the big trim, you got the mini hat, and then you've got this 4-way toggle. I don't think that's a hat switch, but I wonder if I can assign that to that. Maybe. Let's go over here to chase plane. I know we're in slow roll mode today. These are the good things to do during the slow boarding process. Here comes the bus, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
All right, I think it's in camera preference. No, what is it in? It's in. It's just in camera, isn't it?
I think there's control assignments there.
I think there's advanced controls. That's just your.
Now if you go to preferences, and there's a control assignments
Oh yeah,
tab.
preferences, control assignment. There we go. All right, so zoom in and out is blank. Let's try the access. Oh no, it's got it's interesting. It has an access one for zoom out, but it doesn't have an access option. Oh, because it would automatically go back and forth. Oh. All right, I've got to find what button I would use, what key. I'll try button. Zoom in with that one, and I'm gonna zoom out with that one. Let's see if this works. Nope. Zoom in, zoom out's not working there. It's assigned, but for some reason, maybe it thinks it's an access. No, it found the buttons. Zoom in, zoom out. I've got the move forward, back, left. I got tilt, pan, but for whatever reason, the zoom did not. Do I have to save this? No, it's automatic. Maybe I have to be in a certain view. Maybe. Oh yeah, it works in the cockpit, but it's not working. Oh, that'll be handy though to use that for zoom in and out. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm gonna assign the other access. But how do I get it to do it in the spot view, in this view? That's the question. Look at all the people.
Yeah,
Oh
isn't
my
that cool?
goodness. And it actually, I think this is dense or very dense.
It's probably very dense.
But I don't know. We got floaty people. Do you 777 Bob or Moosestaffa, do you know how to get that zoom to work in the outside view? It's weird how it's only in the inside.
That is weird.
It will work in chase plane views, not in P3D views, and spot views is P3D. Oh. Is there an equivalent in chase plane to spot view? Because I know it has the outside cameras.
Right. The outside. I mean, you could set a camera to be, kind of far away like this, and then it'd be kind of similar, I guess.
All right, so there's a view. Let's see if it. Oh yeah, it works that way. So overview works. I'm gonna assign a button to that. I don't know what button to assign. I'll just assign it to V. Toggle propeller sync. I don't care about that. All right, so if I'm in here and then I go here, then I can zoom in and out. P3. Okay. You can go to the outside cam and move and set one. Yeah. So but it doesn't do spot lock, does it?
I don't think so, no.
No. All right, I'm going to go back to preferences. And I'm going to if I want to, do I want to roll or do I want to pan? That is a good question. I'll try roll, see what happens. Okay, so here's a roll. Oh, whoa, no, we don't want to. Woo! That would make me sick quickly.
Yeah, that's the seasick option right there.
Oh, earthquake. So we definitely want. Oh, I think that bus just ran through the stairs. All right, so we definitely want to delete that, and we want to do pan, but pan's already set. I'm going to change it. So pan left and pan right. All right, so that is like a drone type view. I can go in and out. I want one where it like stays kind of in a spot, but I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, you said that wasn't. You didn't know of one, right?
Yeah, no, that's why I use the spot view for doing that kind of thing, and I just have to deal with the P3D camera at that point.
So, but that's nice. You reminded me to use S. I don't know why that's not working in the PMDG.
Yeah, it's really weird because it works on every other PMDG aircraft, just not that one, which is really goofy. I got to figure that out.
It looks like it's doing multiple loads, by the way, because the bus.
It does. It clearly didn't take that
parameter. Yeah. Well, we can continue with.
Yeah, we can. There's stuff to set up in the cockpit still. So.
All right. I do have a checklist here, but I don't know how much of it we skipped through. We did do IRS already. What I do next on my list, and I don't know if this is what you do, but I guess you could arm the emergency exit lights now, but normally maybe you'd wait till the passengers are boarded.
Those would normally be armed before passengers are boarded because you want those available in case there's an emergency while passengers are on the plane. You want those to activate. So, generally speaking, what I usually do as far as my setup goes is I'll do the overhead as a flow of the left, center, and the right, starting from the top, just working my way down.
Okay.
And set everything. So, IRSs in this case are already set. Your utility buses are on, and your external power is set. So that's all good to go. You just make sure your buses are all in auto, which they are, and then your down from that is the hydraulics, and they should all be on off. You can put the number 4 onto aux. I usually do that because that provides like a aux supply for the brakes.
So that fourth one.
Yeah. Okay. Just make sure you take that back out of aux when you put all the hydraulic pumps on. You can set your lights below that. It's daytime, so there's not really much need to mess with those at this point, but you could.
Oh, the panel lights, you mean?
The panel lights, yeah. The demand pumps down there should all be on, but they're going to be pressure pumps aren't actually running at the moment. The engines kick on automatically when the pumps do. So then you'd go back up to the top for the center, and we already did the emergency exit lights. You can test the fire handles, that little button just to the left of the emergency exit lights. Just hold that down. You'll get a 1, 2, 3, 4 in the APU.
Okay.
There you go. And everything else below that should be fine. The ignition system, you're not going to mess with it right now because we're not starting the engines yet. Fuel pumps are all off. Window heat should be on at this point.
Okay.
Pressure to try to make sure I'm caught up with you. Right, and then below that is more outside lights again. Nothing to really mess with at this point. On the top of the other side, you want to make sure the yaw dampers are on. It looks like they are, so they're set and ready to go. Everything should be in normal on your outflow valves, the manual switches should be off, which they are. Trim air below that should be on. Your recircs and all that should be on, which it looks like they are. And then your packs do not need to be on right now because you have air conditioning being supplied from a ground source, so it's doing the job of the packs for you. When we switch over to the APU, then we would turn the packs on at that point. So they could be off right now. You can leave those bleed switches.
And the air cart is by default running?
The air card I saw is running on your
Okay.
FMC. It depends on your cold and dark loadout, but in your case it is. So
Okay.
So it's there. If it wasn't, then you'd want to turn the APU on, get them some air. Otherwise, they'll be getting hot really fast.
Okay.
And then on the bottom there, you want to make sure your nav lights on. Those should always be on anytime the aircraft is powered. And everything else can stay off. If you were at nighttime, you would oftentimes put the wing light on because for the walk around, you want to make sure you got illumination on the aircraft, so the checks and stuff.
Okay.
And then the logo light if you were at night as well for the tail.
Yep. Okay.
And that concludes the overhead panel. Generally speaking, then we would run down to the left side of the captain's panel and test the oxygen. Right there. And so if you pull on that little black other right there, the little black kind of bar on the left-hand side.
Yep. I heard the air. That's cool.
There you go. You can also do that one. It does a little spurt, and if you push the red button down below where that kind of hose is going in, and then quickly go back and do that, it'll actually hold and do it. So there's actually a 2-part test you can do, but you got to do that action kind of quickly, or the thing will
I
flip
see it.
back.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. On the captain's panel itself, you want to make sure all the data sources are all in high noon, which is the left side up there, which they all are.
Oh,
Select where those are coming from. Yeah.
the okay. Yep.
Yeah, those guys over there. Yeah. The panel, the PFD and the ND switches to be set as they are now. If you had something out, you can change what goes where with those switches on the top there. If you needed to uncage the artificial horizon on the standby instrument, you could do that. It looks like it's already balanced right there. And you'd also want to set up your barrow at this point too, so you can hit B or or you
Someone,
can look it up.
777 Bob was talking. Oh, you know what? I need to start Active Sky. 777
helps.
Bob was talking yesterday about how don't do B in the air, just because it'll set the it'll probably set the nearest like reporting station rather than, or no,
Yeah,
the destination or something, or yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll set the local to where your aircraft is, which if you're 30 miles from the airport,
it could change.
That may not be the barrow that is at the airport. So, which I never thought about. That's actually a really good point.
Well,
so
I also told this. I went and did 777 Bob's suggestion to send the weather to the aircraft, and I'm assuming that should bring it into Active Sky, but I'm not sure if there's a step in order to. I guess I could try to. Oh, here we go.
As far as get the flight plan, you mean in Active Sky?
Well, the United's not there. There is a WX plan though. The WX dot plan. That's it, isn't it?
I think so.
Did you change this? I did change it in the 747. Yeah, I think that's it.
Might be.
You don't need to load through Active Sky. It does it once you create a plan. Yeah, we've already got the plan in the FMC.
Yeah, no.
But Active Sky wasn't turned on until just now.
Yeah, and what John Fly's talking about is, and I've heard this too, is Active Sky will be a little bit more accurate with the weather along your planned route if it knows what your planned route is, and so by putting the flight plan into Active Sky, it can provide a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's what he's saying. What he's saying is that you can send it to Active Sky, and I thought it was automatic from after you had set the FMC, because he showed me the option.
Oh,
yesterday.
I see. Maybe it would have if you had Active Sky running at the time.
At the time.
Yeah, that could be.
Of activation, or maybe I needed to activate or something.
Well, you already activated. I saw that, but.
Yeah. But anyway, I just found the WX plan and it loaded up and it's perfect. So.
Yeah. So we're all set there.
All right. So we're gonna do Barrow. All right. 291.
Ooh, that's far off from standard.
Yeah. Then set up the ACARS in the FMC and request it, and it loads itself. Oh, okay. I did a request, but Active Sky wasn't open. So if we did that ACARS request, that's when it would happen.
Ah.
All right. That's one thing I didn't do is we didn't do our we didn't import our wins. I don't think.
Gotcha.
All right. Continuing on. Sorry.
Okay. So
Barrow
continuing on
set.
down the panel, you got the barrow set, and I see that 2991 there. You just go down the follow the panel down, and actually I usually go across the mode control panel, the MCP, and make sure I have it set how I want it. You don't have any information there yet, so it's really just verifying nothing's out of place. In this case, the flight directors are still off. That's fine for now. And you can set up your ND to be the correct distance you want for the flight. Make sure the traffic button's hit on, so that way when you turn your TCAS on, that'll actually work. The amount of times I've forgotten to hit that button and wondered why I don't have any traffic on my TCAS, I would be a rich man if I had $1 for every time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much all I need to do there. Then you can come down.
I
to
think
the
people set
pedestal.
it to 20 miles typically, I guess, for takeoff, but I don't know. Do you set it for 5 or 10?
I usually do it for it. I usually do it for no more than 10 on takeoff.
Especially for the departure, I guess. Yeah.
I'll do it less if there's some intricate stuff like early on. If it's pretty broad, then I'll just set it for 10. But
Okay.
if it's, I have set it down to 5 if it's going to be like really like, oh, you got to turn here and then right away is another turn, and it's a,
Okay.
I want to make sure you can see all that. So after that, you just want to go down the toward the pedestal and verify the gear handle obviously is down. You got to make sure the spoilers are up or sorry, down, and the flap handle matches what the ICAS says, which should be 0 on the flaps, which means no indication on the ICAS.
Okay.
And all your fuel cutoff switches are in
Sorry,
the off
where
position.
is the ICAS?
So you have
flap?
2 ICAS. You right where the gear indication is, right there, the green box on your upper ICAS.
Okay, gears down.
Yeah, gears right there. If
and then
you had
flaps, it would show flaps.
it would flaps right below it if you had flaps indicated. Yeah.
If I just do
So
flaps 1 right now. Ah, okay, there, right there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it just goes away when they're up. So if you don't see any indication, see that. All right, and then let's see, coming down on the pedestal there, the fuel's cut off. You could set the parking brake at this point, so that way that's done. And you would set up your radios if you've got frequent. You're not on VATSIM today, so it really doesn't matter. But you would set your radios at this point, make sure they're all set. You could do the ACARS at this point if you hadn't already, which you have. And finally, set your transponder if you knew what that was. I always use 2200 if I'm not, if I either don't have, if I don't have any controllers, or if I'm offline, I just do it by default. It's my version of the IFR of VFR, which VFR is 1200, so I just add 2.
And then you go on now?
I will not turn the transponder on until I'm ready to push.
Okay.
And I'll just put it to transponder, and then I'll do TARA when I get to the runway.
Okay.
And again, that's a preference thing. I just don't want any kind of a collision alert nonsense when I'm on the ground. So.
Makes sense.
Also, at this point, because you got passengers loading, you turn the seatbelt signs on down there on your left, and no smoking should always be on.
All right. RTO now or later?
I do it during the flaps down part. You could I guess technically do it now.
No, I won't. I'll follow your
I do it as part of the after the push, the flap set. So so at this point, you're pretty much good to go. We need to finish doing the FMC calculations for the V speeds and your takeoff stuff, and then I think you're ready to start.
All right, flaps.
So for this, you're really light. I would not do any more than flaps 10. That's you can do flaps 10 or 20 for takeoff in the 7.4, and I usually do flaps 10.
And then do I hit my V1, VR, V2 now?
Yes, because you already got the runway in there, so you can go ahead and hit that now.
All right.
If it was raining, you see over there on the left-hand side, it says dry. You could select that to wet, and it will lower your V1 speed because it'll count for the less friction on the runway.
Okay, traction, yeah. I think Moosestaffa is an IRL 747 pilot, but I know he said he isn't. Yeah, I think he is. I think he just doesn't want to let people know in the real world. Okay.
I wish I was. My favorite plane in the world is the 747. So if I ever get a chance to fly even the full motion sim,
is your learning from YouTube and Twitch and books and is that
It's all the above, yeah.
okay?
All the above. In fact, I have it's sitting right next to me right here. I pulled it out when I saw you were doing this. The Mike Ray 747-400 Pilot Handbook
Mm,
for Simulator Check Ride. I've digested that, and it's a fantastic read.
that's
So,
awesome. Okay,
uh,
continuing trim
yep.
CD.
For your trim, just hit the button by the trim, and it'll automatically put in the CG, and then you hit it again, and it'll give the trim factor right there.
24%. All right,
Yeah,
while I'm
that's
here, it's wanting me to close my doors, so it wants me to close left entry 1, 2, and 5. I'm just going to quickly do that.
Sure.
Can I close all?
Yeah, you can close all.
And then I can arm all?
Yep. Yeah, once they've all closed.
That's handy. Okay, back to the...
So on that takeoff page, go to thrust limit, and you could also do, in fact, because you're so light today, I would, just so we don't have the similar problem, you don't have an issue where you just have so much power. I would do the takeoff number 2, D rate.
Just, it's funny. As soon as you say D-rate, guess who shows up in chat?
I see that.
Mr. Brad M. I kid you not. Yesterday was
really funny.
Yesterday's session was in my top 10 of all favorite streams where I'm streaming. That was just so golden delicious. And I am so fortunate yet again today to have an instructor. He's going to send me a bill later. It's just that he knows the flows, but he knows the why of the flows. Yes, he knows the why. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I agree with that, Janigans. 777 Bob. Brad, it's good to see you. All right, so I'm going to do a D-rate. Dude,
Yeah, I would do the number 2 because you're
Yeah.
low on fuel, you're low
Okay, climb
on
2.
payload.
Now, should we put that 70 Celsius in here in the selected?
So make sure you do you're still on the takeoff 1. If you notice where it says select over there, because you got 2. You got a climb and a takeoff.
Oh, okay. But I thought
So
I
if you
put
just
70 in the thrust climb, or in the climb yesterday. But
70? I don't think I've ever seen him go as high as 70. I think the highest I've ever seen him go is like in the 50s.
as far as the temperature,
Yeah, for the flex temp, yeah. I
so
mean, I could be wrong about that, but
Brad, did we put 70 in there yesterday, or did we put something else in the 777? Now it's not four engines or whatever, but where would we get that temperature? Would that potentially be on our sim briefing?
No, you'd have to get that from something like Brad used the other day,
Like
that
Top
Topper
Cat
program.
or Topper?
Yeah, or
Okay.
TopCat or Topper, yeah. Which I need to look at getting. That's always the assumed temperature calculations are always something I've wanted to mess with and find like a chart or something, but you can't find them anywhere.
Brad says, "Well, today will be even better because I know Moose knows this thing way too well." Yeah, he actually has a 747 pillow, but he won't admit it to anyone. It's in the shape,
pillow, yeah.
a body pillow in the shape of a 7.4. But I wasn't supposed to out him like that, but it's true.
Okay, I kind of want one now.
No, I do too.
I will bring it to Expo and I will hug it and I will love it. Yeah.
Yeah. 777 says, yeah, we got to put the temp in. Brad says we did
Yeah.
use 70 yesterday. I guess
You
the
did
calc
70,
didn't think we needed more aggressive N1 for takeoff.
Gotcha.
What do
Well,
you
go ahead and do
typically put?
40, I've never
like,
done. I think I've never
40.
done anything above like 53. But I mean,
know the
go ahead.
Airbuses. I think isn't the flex takeoff the same exact thing when you do a
It
flex
is.
44? Okay.
It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. It's just
I'll just
assumed
put in. I'll put in Van Halen, or not Van Halen, Sammy Hagar. I
There you
can't
go.
drive 55. Takeoff speeds are deleted. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna recalculate those now.
And then we'll do 121, 131, 147.
There you go. And then in your MCP, you can do your V2 speed in the speed window. What I do is V2 plus 10, but
Sorry,
that's
so okay, up on the
airline
FCU.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
airline SOP thing. Some people do V2 plus 15. Some people do V2.
I
some
guess a
people
lot,
do
and
plus
some of
10.
it could be runway condition.
It could be that too. So
In this case, my V2 is 147. What do you do? Plus 10?
I do plus 10. But at the end of the day, your V2 is your minimum safety speed. So
Okay,
the
so
airplane will fly at V2.
I'm gonna
Theoretically.
do plus 10 or 157. So by the way, I'm using an MCP hardware panel. I love it. It works. So I'm
Fancy.
rotating it to 157.
Nice.
I should have my MCP camera up, but no, I won't worry about it today. Hug it and love it and call it George. That is,
Yes, that's right.
that's from a show?
That's
I think I'm
from
old enough, but I don't recall.
yeah, it's the cartoon with the big it's like the big dog or whatever it is. I think the I will love
Barney?
it forever and I will do it. No, not it's a dinosaur.
Oh, sorry.
Unless his name is,
The
but yeah,
big
no, it's
dog. Okay, I
it's
don't.
like it's Looney Tunes, I think is what that is.
H check right
Um,
there, yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so at this point too, you'd finish up the MCP. You should know for your what your runway heading is, and so you put
All
that in
right,
your
in this
heading
case,
window.
it's going to be 220.
Sometimes it's nice when it actually lines up with the cardinal direction.
Okay, 220.
And then
I'm just going to put in the altitude of the
yeah,
cruise
today
for
you're not
now.
you're not doing anything
Restricted.
special. But if you'd put in whatever they give you, or if you didn't have VATSIM and the SID had a top altitude, you'd put that on there. Yeah.
Okay.
But in this case, you can just put the all the way up.
Flight directors?
So yeah, you could put those on now.
Is that when you do it?
I usually do all of the on stuff once we're doing the after the engine start. So
I'll leave it off.
Yeah. But at this point, I think we are now ready to go. So you could call for, if they're done board and you close the doors locked. You're not going to push actually because you're facing out the taxiway.
Yeah, so we closed the doors. We armed them. So what do you want me to do?
So at this point, you wouldn't need to. You would just say operate stairs to get them. And actually make sure when you close the doors, it didn't push them away on their own. Sometimes it does.
Yeah, they're away.
Okay, so you don't need to do anything now from GSX because you're not going to need to push.
Okay.
So what we need to do is start the APU though, because we're going to need that to start the engines.
Okay. So APU is going to be right here. So just click to start. Is it a hold or is it a toggle?
You put it to on, and then you hold it and start for a moment, and then let it go, and it'll spring back to on, and it'll start the.
Do you let go? Do you hold it and it goes back on its own, or do you?
No, yeah, I think it goes back on its own.
Because I was holding it down and then I let go and then it went back to on.
Yeah, that's fine as long as you keep it there for a second or two.
And then we can monitor.
If you go down to the status page on your lower ICAS, those are on the buttons for that are on right over there.
I'm
the MCP stat.
I'm getting my my chase plane all situated. So on the lower one.
Yeah, it's going to be on the lower one when you push that stat button.
So when I push the stat button, okay. So stat button's right there. Oops, I need to map a. Okay, so there's the APU spooling up.
There you go.
You got your X-plane fixed today, Tarb. Can fly it again today without crashes. Very nice. GTN 750 detonated. Yeah.
All right, looks like the APU is up. So if we go up to the electrical panel, we should see available from the two APU gens.
All right, both of them on.
And so you can plug them both on. Yep, they'll cancel out the external power.
Automatically, yeah. Oh,
yep.
Nice.
Yeah, the plane will not allow both to power because the gens aren't in sequence or aren't
okay.
in sync. So at this point now, you can go back to your FMC and you can remove the carts, the ground cart and the air cart.
And chocks while I'm in here, or wait?
Yeah, you can do it now because we set the parking brakes, so you can remove those too.
Okay, that's done.
And then go back up to the overhead panel. We want to turn the packs on for the passengers now that we're disconnecting the air source that they had.
To normal?
Yeah, just set all three to normal.
And we don't need that for engine start to be off, huh?
Well, you will. I usually, until I'm ready, until I know those carts have cleared, I'll just put them full on so they have as much air as they can.
So you want to, you're a passenger man. You want to keep their comfort in play.
I'm all about comfort. I want the paying passengers to come back. My
Makes
job
sense.
depends on it, and so yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
But yeah, once the cart goes, then we'll need to turn 2 of those packs off. The 747 can start with 1 pack on, but it
Does it
cannot
matter
start
which
with all
ones?
3.
Or yeah.
I don't believe it does, but I always turn off 2 and 3.
Okay. We'll wait. We'll wait for that. All right. Should I get a call up a tug?
Yeah, yeah. So you can just pull straight out when we're ready here. It looks like so.
I'm not. I
Um,
don't think I should do engine start right here.
yeah, you could have him pull you out and just do that. Actually, because you got the you can map him to just pull you straight out and
Mhm.
turn you around. Because yeah, you don't want to blow those de-ice trucks behind you away.
Exactly.
That's a good call.
Because they're my friends too. They save my life sometimes. All right. So let's do F12. Prepare for pushback and departure. It's not really pushback, but do you want to request pushback? I just said I did. Yes. That's kind of redundant. What he technically is, what he has technically isn't a 750, and the one for the sim has nowhere near as much functionality. I was undecided on the GTN 750, but after seeing Max work on an IRL last night, I think I need to take the plunge. Yeah, he's got a G3000, and what he was working on is just the touch screens for the G3000, right? That was pretty cool stream. That was pretty cool stream. He had like 245 people in there just watching him just walk around his jet, inspect the toilet, etc. It was great. I loved it.
Who is this?
Max did an IRL
Oh,
stream
no.
with his CJ3 Plus, yeah.
That's awesome.
And I believe his new YouTube video debuts today, if not already. Sometime today, I think, maybe.
I'll check that out.
He called it a GTC, did he? Okay. All right, it may have said something to me. I've got the
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
okay, release parking brake. And I'm going to do a quick edit pushback. And I'm just going to... Can you move? No. Oh, look at that. You can do a view from that angle. That's interesting.
Oh.
Is there a way to scroll further up or no? I guess we can do engine start right here.
Yeah, just get out of the way.
Commencing push.
Talking the D rates of the B744 doing Kaitac to LHR would take off at 70% max thrust at maximum takeoff weight. Wow.
Good grief.
That being said, the GTN 750, yeah, the GTN 750 is amazing in both X-Plane and P3D. In fact, I need to break out my second biggest plane that I have for P3D, and that is the Skyhawk, because I do have the GTN 750 in the Skyhawk, the A2A. I have the A2A 182 and 172. I'm cool. But GA and P3D has not appealed to me as much because of the lack of detailed ortho, but I don't know, maybe it's time. Is he supposed to be behind my wheel?
I think that's a GSX goof right there. Because no.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be behind my wheel. And my
He
wheel
just
is
really
sideways, and he's jacking
Yeah.
up my...
That's funny. He is destroying your airplane right now.
Set parking brakes.
Now he's back out.
That's hilarious.
That is kind of funny. Oh, I noticed that when you do this, I have this camera view that it changes when I set up the editing of the pushback. I have to go back here to spot, and then my button works.
Oh yeah, because it'll default. I did that the other day, and it put the for some reason I did the edit pushback, and it took me out to see the entire Earth like as a tiny globe.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, that's helpful. I mean, so, and then of course my spot view was there until I fixed
yeah.
it. It's fun.
I don't think John has sim object shadows on. Maybe not.
It helps with.
I think I turned those off for to get a couple extra frames. Speaking of frames, what am I? Is the frame counter in P3D accurate?
As far as I know.
I'm only getting 60 frames. That sucks. Okay.
All right, so while they're doing the disconnect stuff, you could be starting engines right now. So.
Oh, all right. So I'll go packs
So
1 off.
packs 2 and 3
Oh,
off.
2 and 3 off. Okay, 2 and 3 off.
And make sure to turn the beacon on. Actually, the beacon should have come on before we started moving.
Ride is clear.
Forgot about that.
Oops, beacon on.
Yeah.
I'm making a checklist based on our conversation today, so I got to put the beacon probably
beacon should
when
go
the
on
nav
any-
come on
No, beacon goes on anytime the plane
is going to move.
Engines are running or plane is moving. Yes, that's correct.
Lower
So-
or both?
Both.
Both. Okay. Oh, we got a subscribe.
Maple syrup can.
Maple syrup can with the subscribe. Thank you so much for the 5 months. I do very much appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, packs are off, beacons
Packs
on.
are off, beacons
This
on.
engine start is brought to you by Maple syrup can.
Fuel pumps need to come on. So everywhere where it says pressure, including the bottom one on the main. So don't hit the overrides. Just turn on the main ones, the main twos.
Okay.
The bottom one on that main two needs to come on too. It's already the DC pump is running because of the APU. That's why it doesn't show pressure on it, but it needs to be on as well.
Oh, this one. Wait.
So
Where?
You see main two that you only have the top one on.
Oh yeah, it didn't light up. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it should be on, but it doesn't light up because the pressure light doesn't come on because the DC pump's running for the APU.
Okay.
Okay, so once those are all on, there's the. I'm assuming this thing is probably using auto start, but I don't see a button, so I'm not entirely sure. So,
Do I need to do this hydraulic pump back to off?
No, you can leave it there
Okay.
until the
Aux?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. So go ahead and pull the engine starter for 3 and 4. Let me see what happens.
For 3 and 4?
Yeah, you can start 2 engines at once on the 7.
Right click, left click, pull to
I
pull.
think it's right click, I think.
Yep, right click, 3 and 4. Okay, they're lighting up. Well, 4, yep, they're lighting up.
Okay, so now go down and monitor the engine spool up on your ICAS. You're looking for a N2 of around 20 to 25%.
All right, I need to get an ICAS view on Chase Plane.
And then once you hit that, go ahead and hit the fuel cutoff switches to run.
Once I hit what?
Once you hit around 20 to 25% N2.
I think I'm way past that.
You probably are. You also need to go to engine mode on your FCP there, MCP, because you're looking at status. But yeah, you can just turn them on. I'm sure you're there.
All right, let me set up some camera views here. So I'm going to go over to the community, and I'm going to go for 747, and I'm going to do ICAS. And I'm going to, that one's not too bad. That one's okay. That one I like. I'm downloading that one. Bam. And then I'm going back to the presets.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Hey, how come I downloaded it, but it's not there? What? Community.
Did it download for a different version of the 747? Because sometimes
It's for the freighter.
That's why.
I should be able to download it for this, you'd think.
Yeah, you should be able to. I don't remember how. Do you?
Is it this copy URL? No. Well, I can just make a new one. I could do this. Watch this. I'll do this.
Yeah, put yourself
I'll
there.
I'll
and then go
download
to the
this
other.
one. And then I'm gonna go here. And then once I go there, oh, I can't. I want to stay in that view and then go update preset, but it's okay.
Oh, I see.
That's funny. All right, I'm gonna adjust the camera to my liking. Okay, down like that. Zoom. Oh, it's not zooming. There's forward. Down. All right, and then I'm gonna update. I update preset, and then I'm gonna map that to button or a key, and it'll be 0 for now. Okay, sorry about that, instructor.
No worries.
And I'm gonna, and then you were saying go back to engine,
Yeah, on the
And then,
on
okay.
the MCU
And then
there.
do
That
I
way you
do
can see.
1 and 2 now?
Yeah, now you can do 1 and 2, and you can see that there's where your N2 display is.
So I'll come back down here. And again, or sorry, when N2 number gets to 20 what?
20 between 20 and 25%. You can.
So
go
it's
run
like
on
the it's like
fuels. Very
the
similar to
7.3. Yeah.
7.3. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you'll see the EGT start to rise and the one start to rise.
I'm not a fan of the glass. Can you turn off that dirt
You can actually, yeah, you can't. Well, you can turn off the. You
reflection?
can you can turn these to flat panels actually in the options in the FMC if you want to run them as flat panels like the 4.8.
That's probably if I have the expansion pack, huh?
No, I think you can do it even without. I
Oh,
think.
okay. Okay. I might want to do that.
I just always prefer the look of the old CRTs. It feels more authentic to me.
Oh, okay.
But that's me.
All right.
So you can go ahead and turn on the hydraulic demand pumps now.
The
Top.
DEMS. So
The DEMS.
go to auto on those.
Yep, they can all come to auto, and the aux one on number 4 can now go back to auto as well.
Okay. That
And
was
then
behind my
packs.
camera, but
Yeah, it's okay. And then the packs, the 2 and 3 can come back on now.
all right.
And you just want to verify that the APU's gens have been disconnected, which they have, and at that point you can turn off the APUs. That way that's not running anymore. Just to use that off switch on the dial.
Gens are off.
There you go. And that'll start to spool down, cool down. Now on the 747, the rule, you probably have a fuel tank to engine message on your iCast right now. Yes, you do. And on your upper iCast, yeah, fuel tank engine. So what that means is we use the rule of 120. So if you have less than 120,000 pounds of fuel on board, you're going to go up to your fuel panel, and you're going to turn off the outside fuel cross feeds. So the one next to tank 1 feed, and not the 2 under the glass. You're going to leave those alone. Just turn those guys off right there. Yep. Because what's happening, the way the 747 fuel system works, is the center fuel pumps have the highest pressure, followed by the main tank pumps, 1, 2, and 3, followed by the main 1 and 4 pumps have the lowest pressure.
Okay.
And so it will feed out of the center first. You want to bleed the center dry before you do anything else. And then you run pumps 2 and 3 with everything, because they're basically going to feed everything. Though the 1 and 4s aren't going to do anything, even though they're on. But it's going to slowly bring the amount of fuel in 2 and 3 to be equal with 1 and 4. And at that point, you get that tank to engine message, because now it wants you to feed tank to engine. And the only way that's going to happen, because the 2 and 3 pumps are more powerful, is if you kill those cross feeds. So now 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all feeding their engines directly to keep the balance.
All right. I think I understand some of that. I'm going to watch this section of the video where you explain that again so I can fully digest, because that was a lot of awesome information. What would the symptoms be if I didn't do this?
So if you did not do this, you would eventually get a fuel balance warning, because your tanks 2 and 3 will burn down to 0 before 1 and 4 even gets touched. And so if you looked at your fuel page, you would see a imbalance, not from left to right of the aircraft, but you want to burn the wing evenly. You don't want to have a no fuel in the closer part of the wing root and a ton of fuel on the outside, because they'll put a lot of stress on.
All right, so whenever, so I'm going to basically look at that for that message, and that's going to remind me to turn those.
Correct. But you
off.
can know anytime you hit below about 120,000 pounds of fuel total is when you're going to get that notice, because the way the fuel system fills the tanks in the 747, right around that point is when you start getting more fuel into 2 and 3 and have to burn them down a little bit further.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what that message means.
Excellent.
All right. And so I think now we've got the hydraulics on. We've got that. So now at this point, we would put the flaps down to what we're going to set unless of course it was snowing, in which case we would wait until we were at the runway so we don't get a bunch of contamination in the
Inside, okay. That's
inside
good.
the
I've never thought about
flap
that
case.
before. That's great. I like
I
that.
learned that from one of the pilots that was doing I think it might have been Flight Deck to Sim or something like that was talking about that, and I went,
Mm.
oh, that's a good point. Never thought of that. So flaps can come down to 10.
Set,
The auto brake can go to RTO.
should I have set the stab trim already?
Stab trim would set now because now you have hydraulic power.
Okay, so now I'm going to go to what you said. I'm going to what you want to do. Auto brake is what you said first?
Yeah, auto brake RTO,
Oops.
which is on the pedestal. Excuse me.
Okay, auto brake RTO set.
And then, yeah, let's get the stab trim set up too. I think it was 3.8 if memory serves, but go to the takeoff page, it'll tell you.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Never mind. Good thing we didn't listen to me.
It may have changed just based on the fact that I've burned a ton of fuel.
Right girl says check messages, please. By the way.
See, ACARS always works for right girl. All right, ACARS message for right girl received. Thank you, right girl. There's the right girl emote. She's very handy. She can't reach me on any other platforms, but she knows I'm watching Twitch chat. That's awesome. All right, 4.5 set.
All right.
Give or
Okay, and then
take. Yeah.
at this point, I would put the transponder into transponder mode because you're going to start moving around the
All right,
area.
transponder mode.
Okay, and let's see, down RTO set. I think that's it. Yeah, so now it would just be a matter of taxi clearance and taxi light on to start moving. Brakes release.
All right.
You could also at this
taxi light
point check your
on.
controls on the status page. That's one other thing you probably want to do before you start moving. Is just rotate your controls through all their
Oh yeah.
their modes and just make sure everything's working, because nothing's more awkward than doing your takeoff roll
And you don't have any.
and then finding out you have no aileron control. That's a bad day.
Yeah,
That's a bad day.
for sure it is. All right, I'm going to take my Navigraph charts out now, and I'm going to click on KEWR, open up the chart list. By the way, I feel like stepping off the plane right now because they just brought in fresh sushi from Tokyo into the Newark terminal, and I'm really tempted to just have everyone wait until I go get a box of rolls.
No argument here.
I don't know. This is going to be a long taxi. This will be awesome. We're going to 22 right. This is going to be awesome. This will give me an opportunity to actually see the airport. So we're going to taxi. We're going to go up here. We're going to turn right on Romeo Alpha, November. Would they taxi on the Alpha or the... They'd probably on the Alpha, not the Bravo. Or would they taxi on the Bravo? One day I'm going to have to bring up Flight Radar 24 and analyze. 22 right at Whiskey for takeoff. They use IRL. Okay, so they do take off at Whiskey on 22 right. All right. So Whiskey is right there. With the 7.4, the 7.4 should be okay with that. You do take down Bravo? Thank you, Brad. See, Brad knows. All right,
yeah, we're gonna. Brad should know EWR like the back of his hand.
He knows the EWR like you know the 7.4, I think. All right, this is so cool. I'm so glad you're on vacation.
I am too. This is awesome.
This is so fun. Oh, people are learning. People are like, why aren't you flying? Why does it take you 2 hours to get even into a taxi situation? All right, so I got parking brake released. I'm going to turn up a little bit of airplane sound. And then I'm going to move the throttles. It takes a lot of throttles, doesn't it, to move?
It takes a little bit, yeah. Especially if you're heavy. You're not that heavy, so it probably won't take a lot to break away. The thing I love about the 747, the new one PMDG, is once you have broken away, you can bring the throttles back to idle, and it really keeps its momentum going. You don't have to like constantly be fighting the throttles back and forth. like you do on the 737.
What's interesting is I can't get back to the captain view, so I gotta set one more thing in chase plane here. Chase plane, assign button. There we go. So we're outside and we're back inside. Okay. And the other thing too, I would like to know, and maybe Brad knows this information, what gate at Dryzecki's Newark works well for this plane? Because I searched everywhere. I could find a 747 gate heavy, but it was not near on the United side of life. So what is a good gate number on Dryzecki's Newark? I need to know this information.
Yeah, that's definitely a Brad M question if you ask me.
You know, I think my frames are a little bit compromised right now.
They appear to be, yeah.
There are a few gates at Terminal B that you could use. All right, so I just wouldn't be near United Planes then. Okay. I wonder why all of a sudden I have a low frame rate.
Yeah, that's actually, it seems to be when you get out of the plane.
Yeah, it's right
Getting
now
a
it's
little worse.
40.
It's really nice in the cockpit, but outside it's
Yeah,
like, ah.
exactly. All right, I'm gonna turn here. Yeah, it's just in this view here. Yeah, you're right.
Even your Discord sounds a little poppy when you
So
go
it's
outside
there's
too.
some CPU going on.
Yeah.
Bravo 55. Okay. Turning kills momentum though. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And you have to spool back up.
Yep.
I'm killing some runway lights as well here. I'm going to actually turn here because this will get me onto Bravo more easily. Yeah, it's great frame rates inside. Okay, so I'm going to give X-Plane a point for the ability to change the time of day instantly. You can't do that in this sim.
That's true. I will grant X-Plane the points for that as well.
I have to say something positive about X-Plane, otherwise
Otherwise, you feel dirty.
I feel so, yeah, like I'm betraying my love.
This is Brutus fly now, not Jones.
Turn up which volume? You want to turn me up and Moose up, right? Right, Ollie? All right, maybe I'm gonna test a couple of chase plane views just to see if it's that P3D specific view. I'm gonna go nose gear. Frame rates are fine there on the nose gear.
Yeah,
Front
so maybe
right.
It's a P3D spot plane something or other. Because yeah, it's real smooth right there.
Look at that. That's just fine.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stay on target. You're in a big plane now, boy. Oh, you know what? The spot view's fine now.
Oh. Well, yeah, for the most, much better anyway.
Yeah, 60 frames. Homie Live, how are you doing? Anything that you're doing in the plane while taxiing with regard to setup, or?
No, everything should have been done by now. So the only thing I'd be doing at this point, if they had given me a change of like runway or something, I'd use this time to update the FMC or something. But pretty much it's just make sure I know where I'm going, and I would have briefed the departure already, so I had that in my head ready to go and all that stuff. So.
Okay. Getting ready for another day of work. I have tomorrow off, but work Saturday. Oh, homie, I hope you have a good day at work. I hope to rejoin the employed masses one day soon. I'm just balancing that whole, do I pay $2,000 a month for daycare versus take care of the kids and give them me. I think later in life I'll look back at these years of being home with them alone as bonding time, and far more worth than any amount of money I could have made while working and not being home with them and them being with strangers or not family. It's a balance, but
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for that.
I was lucky. My mom was always home. Look at that view.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'm surprised that the tow truck didn't destroy this gear.
Right?
I think you get more in trouble when you do these outside views in X-Plane while taxiing. This one seems to... I know PMDG has its own flight model, but it seems to be a little more stable with regard to taxi than X-Plane. Uh-oh, I complimented P3D again.
But counter with an X-Plane compliment.
Yeah, you'll miss this rucking on Saturday night, but hopefully we'll make the next one. Yeah, I hope so too. I'm glad that you're done with the the gift jobs for World of Trucks. I'm not done yet. I got 4 more. Have you done that yet, Moose?
I have. So, but I will be joining you. I'll do some more gifts just to do it.
We'll be so happy to have you along for the convoy.
I got a shifter for Christmas, so I've been playing with that. That's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
I have a shifter I should probably donate to someone because I have 0 interest in using it. It's the simple one that comes with the Logitech 920. Maybe one day I'll use it for racing or something, I guess. But
that's the one I have, and I've got it working with the truck, so it works nice.
Yeah. Airport looks fantastic. I've got to give hats off to Dryzeki. I say Dryzeki. Some people pronounce it other ways, but I got to give him credit for a really nice looking Newark. I decided to include the static aircraft, even though on VATSIM events that might be a pain in the butt. And I never fly at this time of night either. This is kind of unusual for me. Now, if I park at the end of the runway, can I go change the time in the menu and then everything's still set up? Or
yeah, you can do it.
You can change the time of day? Okay.
Yeah. It just has to reload all the scenery, so it's just a pain to do it.
Okay.
Time change. But yeah, it won't affect any of your numbers or anything like that. Because the weather is still coming in from active skies, so the only thing that could possibly change would be the temperature. But even that, it'll just go with whatever active sky's seeing right now if you're using real world.
Okay. It doesn't look too bad though, the lighting, does it?
No, I mean you're kind of like, it's just like a sunset kind of a time of day.
Well, it feels like it's in the winter it's in the late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah.
All right, my taxi is almost complete. We're passing Yankee, and we're gonna turn up here. We're gonna hold short of Whiskey, and we're gonna do like Brad says, that they take off from Whiskey. I don't know how much that cuts off from avoiding not going to Zulu, and our D rate probably doesn't help this situation. But
well, yeah, now I hear that. I'm gonna double check with someone.
Are you flying as well?
No, but I'm gonna do some research for you here.
Okay. Black Diamond says, yes, these times spent with your kids when you look back will be priceless. I was lucky enough to do it, retired now, but it's so nice. I think so. Financially, we have to sacrifice a little bit, but my youngest will be going, into kindergarten in 3 years, so it's tough work though. You got to give all those stay-at-home parents a lot of credit for these youngins. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of work.
Sorry, go ahead.
Brad says I once took off full-length IRL in a 787-10, but that was a pretty full flight. Oh, wow. Go ahead, Moose.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chart. If you take off from Whiskey, you're only losing maybe a couple hundred feet, so it should be fine.
All right.
It's an 11,000 foot runway, so.
Okay. All right. So now I do TARA.
So yeah, go to TARA. After you're gonna go out on the runway, we don't put the strobes on.
Okay, strobes are on. Landing lights, inboard, outboard.
I do them all.
Oh, is there? I wonder if there's a click in the middle.
I don't know.
No, there is.
I have a thing mapped on my my yoke to just click them all on, so I just do it that way.
All right. Anything else here? Oh, flight directors. We forgot to do that.
Yeah. Flight directors need to come on, and LNAV, VNAV.
My flight director. Oh, that's auto throttle. Sorry. Flight director. Flight director. It did an autopilot disconnect. That's interesting. I do arm my auto throttle though right now, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our auto throttle should be armed. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems with.
And then
you know,
try the LNAV and the
And
and
yeah, go ahead.
the
Click it.
VNAV,
LNAV. Yeah, LNAV VNAV can be armed.
which I'm
It'll
using
just-
on my hardware panel. I just hit them. Boom, boom.
Nice.
Oh, that's a question I had. So
Mhm.
yesterday when Brad and Max were teaching me the 777, Brad told me about the whole altitude intervene where you push the button in,
Yeah.
right? Does this have the same thing?
I would imagine so. Actually, that was I didn't realize that the 777 had the push in on the thing because I'm new to the 777 myself. So I'm not sure. I would imagine it probably does because there's no alt intervene button there. So I would assume it's the same thing.
Are you
Um,
are
I-
you loading something because you were cutting out on Discord a little bit there?
No, but
No?
I'm hearing you pop too. So I don't know if our connection just overall is funky. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, so I maybe someone in chat knows. It is showing an icon to push it, so maybe the altitude intervene. Maybe I should
Yeah,
test that.
Yeah, I'm guessing it does.
You know what? I'm gonna level off at 10,000, and then I'm gonna bug up 3-4, and then hit the
Try it.
button.
There you go.
Well, maybe not. Hold on. Yeah, I guess I can. I'm just trying to figure out how I'd simulate that because I'm not on a SID. There's no restriction, so I really
Right.
can't simulate that. Never mind. Okay. Put in the SID, the EWR4. Well, I probably don't want to do that right now. But the thing is, the button does work. Yeah. I have seen the new trailer with the snow XC5. Yeah. On MFS. Just want to do something just quickly here. It is very simple departure, pretty much straight on, and it would leave you on course at IAD, but would be good for testing if you want. Okay. No, I just needed to know that. I just two things. I wanted to know if it was simulated, the altitude constraint by doing the same thing by pushing the button, and then secondly, I have a push button on my MCP panel, so I am going to want to test that. But we'll go ahead and
Oh,
get off the
that'd
ground.
be really helpful.
But yeah, I have a push button, so the knob that I rotate the altitude on the hardware panel does have the push button. So I want to know if that's mapped. That would be kind of cool.
Gotcha. And then be aware, same thing on the MCP here. You should have the click spot below the flight director switch. It's either that screw or right below the screw for your
For Toga? Okay.
Yeah, it should be somewhere in that vicinity. It may just be right below.
Yep,
that.
I see it. It's on right the off switch for the flight director.
Well, that may be the flight director because I think if you click that, it's going to click the flight director off.
Oh, you're right.
That's so go down below the screw.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, that could
Got
be
it.
that could be the switch
That's
below.
That's something else down there. Oh, you know what? Is it the screw? It might be the screw on top by the auto throttle. Try that one. I have a button mapped on my
Yep.
yoke, so I don't.
Yep,
do
it's
it.
the
There
screw
we
by
go.
the auto throttle. Yep, upper
Fantastic.
screw. Yep.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I have it mapped on my yoke, so I don't have to mess with that.
All right. Anything else?
That should be it. Once you get on the runway lined up, throttles to around 50%, and let them stabilize, and then toga.
50% then, rather than 40. Okay, that's a different than the.
Yeah,
Like the-
it's 40, 50. It depends on who you talk to, but yeah, they should be.
Okay.
You want to keep them below. I think it's if you stay under 60%, you're generally
Okay.
good.
Hey, let's. Can you go back to the voice lobby,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna drag you back. I want to see if that helps us. And then I'm gonna disconnect. In fact, maybe disconnect completely and then go back to the voice lobby.
All right.
Let's just. Sometimes the server likes a refresh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it. Is that any better?
No, it's worse actually.
Oh gosh.
Had some
That's very
fuzz on your. Let's see what happens.
Test 1
T-
2. Test 1 2.
Yeah, it's like it got worse. That's weird.
Very strange. Let me
I'm gonna
see if
call you direct.
doing something.
I'm gonna call you direct if that's okay.
Yep.
It's not. All right, test 1 2. So yeah, I'm calling you direct. Is it? Are you hearing me? It says you're not in the call yet. Let me try to call you again. Nothing seems to be happening. Huh, because I'm calling you. That's weird. All right, go back to the voice lobby. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's very
That-
strange. There's
that-
like no alert or anything. Like I would expect to like hear something
Yeah.
like, "Hey, so and so is trying to get a hold of you." But
So
there's,
maybe
like,
the
nothing.
server is having issues in general.
Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna spool up. Monsieur Fritz. Monsieur Fritz. Yes, 60. No, more than that. More than 60% lately. Again, I felt guilty about getting in P3D again today, but this is fantastic today to learn. It's really fantastic to learn. So thank you, Moosestaffa.
My pleasure.
I'm gonna give. Seems like I got a frame rate issue again, even on the inside. Shout out to Moosestaffa. You guys check out his streams. I enjoyed coming into your stream right now, but I'm gonna enjoy it even more now that they're again relatable. When you're
Right.
flying a
That's
plane
a
that
big
I
thing.
actually will fly, it makes perfect sense. Wait, is this the runway?
No, well, yeah, no. It's I was just gonna ask you about that. I think that's the cross runway. I think it's on your right. I think you can get there from here. I think you just go on.
Oh,
from
you're
this
right.
runway.
I screwed up. Actually, ATC screwed up.
Yeah, let's blame them.
I'm gonna go down the runway. Yep, I'm on 1129 now. Hey, it's an airport tour. You know, it's kind of funny when you do something you shouldn't do, your frame rates goes down. It's like a penalty.
P3D knows. Yeah, there you go. That's the right runway.
Yeah, my frames are 15, 22, 35. Okay. So it's based on what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, especially with New York in the area, I can imagine.
Yeah. Hey, Puff, how you doing? Takeoff thrust at 55 to 60% in 80% humidity, 50 to 55% in 70% humidity, stabilized thrust, and 102% on the reactor.
She can't take much more of this, Captain.
105% on the reactor possible, but not recommended. I gotta change my view. I don't like my view right now. More chase plane tweaking. Unless I got off the view somehow. No. Alright, Captain. Alright, camera. I just feel like I should be higher. Like right there. No, but then I can't. I gotta zoom out just a little bit.
That's not bad. You're right about where I think my camera's normally sitting.
I think I might just do that there.
I know. I really wish they had the view alignment dots on the center pedestal like they do in real life. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to do 45, 50%, and then we'll go toga. And then we're going to, we'll have them fly it for just 7 seconds. And then at what point do you raise the flaps?
So you'll see on the speed tape over there little indications for 10, 5, and up, I think is it. And so as you pass those, that's your indication to raise the flaps up to the next one. So once you pass the 10 bug, then you can raise up to 5. Once you pass the 5 bug, you raise up to...
It'll say that on the speed
1.
tape.
It'll say that on the speed tape, yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think I should do this time of day, or should I change it to daytime? Looks okay to me.
I think it looks okay.
All right, we'll go. We'll do it. Even if roll with it looks fine. I'm scared. All right.
You'd have to be crazy not to be scared.
Oh wow, it gets up to 50 quick.
Yeah.
I do have
like I said,
toga on my joystick, so I don't even have to
when
do
you're
the
lightly
shortcut.
loaded, it will go fast.
This is a D-rated takeoff, I can tell. Oh, I wish the frames were better. Maybe it's the night lighting kicking in that caused the frames?
Could be. I don't know.
I don't like these frames right now. Oh, I'm past V1. So, sorry. Rotate. Okay, gear up. Flight director wants me to turn. Sun up there looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Intermediate marker. Alright, so this flap is right there. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yep. And then it'll go up to the next bug.
I'm going to do Command A. And oops. I'm going to have to start putting panel lights on here. Yeah, my frames are bouncing around a little bit here. That's nice that it tells you exactly when to do your flaps. I like that.
It's very fancy.
Very fancy. Okay, it's got me at 3. It's not climbing very fast. Just trying to pick up speed here. Let's do a flyby.
You're on the D-rate climb too, so it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
keep the power back. Yeah. It was 10 a.m. when John started breathing. That's a beautiful view right there.
Yeah, I like the rays.
Big break. I think there's a whole song about that in Pinocchio.
Elephants aren't supposed to fly.
Alright, so once you're stable on the climb, you can go ahead and select the gear switch to off. Just don't put it all the way down.
Okay. All right, off. 8,000.
And then once we cross 10,000, landing lights can come off. You can verify that RTO is snapped back to off. If it hasn't, you can stick it there manually.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn on some.
Yeah, panel lights.
How do I get the main panel lights?
So for the ones for the two,
Oh, I see. The
the
IL.
pilot and co-pilot are on the side there, but the other ones are for the pedestal and the MCP are up on the top.
I have to play around with that. All right, so 10,000.
Yeah, so landing lights and taxi light can come off.
Would taxi light should have come off on the runway potentially?
Well, no, usually that stays on for the takeoff, and then you just turn it off. A lot of times I'll turn it off once the gear goes up, but there's no harm. I mean, I think it goes off automatically, but you can turn the switch off.
Okay.
And
D-rate
RTOs
climb
are
at
off.
4,300 feet per minute. Well, it's only at 950 right now per minute. This is one sim I would love to play with, but quite a learning curve. Yeah. And the thing is I've got unfortunately, John Fly has to fly the PMDG products on a regular basis to be able to retain the information. So, yeah, you're going to see this bird in the rotation as I learn as I learn things.
Yeah, so once we pass 10,000, it automatically drop the nose to accelerate up to climb speed.
The acceleration height.
No, it's well actually it's different from the acceleration height. The acceleration height's about 1,500. That's from V2 to climbing up to 250, and then
Oh,
once
it
you hit
was
10,000,
just okay.
it'll go up to like 320 for climb beyond 10,000.
Okay.
And then now that it's reached that, you see your climb rates snap back to.
Look at all that
more.
snow on the ground. We don't have seasons in X-Plane either.
It's a beautiful bird.
It's a big bird. Test the altitude intercept. I don't have any. I don't think I have any restrict. Maybe I do have a restriction. Let's take a look. Yeah, I do have flight level 263 at Park, but it's not a restriction. It's just a level.
That's what it just thinks it's going to be at.
So I could put in 313 and then FL 260B, and it would.
Yeah, and actually to do that, all you need to do is hit the slash and then put in, just put in a hard altitude at Park. Put 230 or something. Just do slash 23.
I'll do 240, and then I do at, or an A, or.
No, you just do.
Or sorry, B. No.
You don't even need to do that because it'll just hold it. It'll just make that a hard altitude that it needs to be there.
Oh, I just had a USB device say not recognized. That's weird.
That's pretty what that was. There you go, and then execute. Done.
Okay. And
then it'll
now
rebuild.
I'm gonna go standard pressure.
Yep.
And I'm gonna reset my MCP altitude for what did I say? I said 2.4, right?
2.4, yeah.
So it should stay at 2.4. Actually, if I rotate up to 2.6, it should stay at 2.4, right?
Actually, no. Leave it. It should, but leave it at 2.4 because what we'll test then is when it gets to Park, if you don't have the altitude changed, and you change it after the fact, the plane's not going to want to move, and so that way, when you push that button, that'll test that yes, that retold it. Hey, yeah, go up to that new altitude now on VNav.
All right. So in 10 miles, when we get there, you're saying. When we hit it, let's see if it stays, and then after it stays, rotate back up to 320 and hit the button.
Correct, because if you did it now, if you put it beyond that, then when the plane gets there, it will just keep going up after that because it knows, oh, I've got clearance on the MCP to go up beyond that, and I passed the restriction. This tests to see if you get behind the aircraft, if that intervent will work.
All right, so there's 240 before Park. And so when it's capitalized, that means that's a hard restriction?
Correct. Capitalize or with the A or the B on it, but anything in small print is just what the profile thinks it's going to be at. That's the FMC.
Can you turn off the smoking sign, please? Yes. Oh, that's down. That's down here. Smoking off.
You can turn the seatbelt sign off at this point too, because you're.
Now I'm going to climb again, though, so I'll leave them in their seats for a bit.
All right.
Rushdie, how you doing? I still don't know how to say your name, but some people call you Rusty. I still say Rushdie, but it's not that. It's not any of that. He sent me a soundwave file of his name, and I can't recreate it. You leave no smoking off on all flights. There you go. Happy New Year to you as well. Clarence, hello. All right, there's Park, so in theory it's staying level, but that's because we have our MCP is also level.
Correct.
So now I'm just going to go to 2.5 and see what happens.
Sure.
Right? 2.5, still level, so that's good. So now I'm going to bug up 3.2. Now in theory I should be able to press the button and it'll go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the button on my hardware panel.
Yep.
And let's see what happens. So I'm going to get a view so we can see everything. Here we go. The button on the hardware panel. It now goes to thrust reference VNav speed. And it's climbing. The button on the hardware panel works. Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Love it when a plan comes together.
That's right. I'm gonna change my project fly to come down below. Well, no, actually, I'm gonna. If you hold down Alt, guys, you get rid of that P3D menu up there.
Yeah, that's always nice.
That sun doesn't look too bad. It'd probably be a little bit blinding in the real world.
Yeah, it would be. Are you running any kind of like Rex anything on this? Or
Sky,
just
Skyforce 3D.
Skyforce? Yeah.
Yeah, some random theme.
Yeah, I got you. That's what I
Is it my imagination, or are you a little out of focus? I could be out of focus. Maybe that has to do with your oh, we're shaking. Maybe I need to do like a chase plane, like a, what's that called? There is a field of view on each camera, I think. So let me go to advanced. I don't know if I can set it here or not. All of a sudden, much better? Okay. The laggy turbulence comes from the aircraft itself. Yeah, I noticed that there were a lot of options in the menu with regard to having that simulated or not. In fact, I purposely, to fake you guys out, I purposely took off the shaking upon landing. So it looks like I'm butter every time.
That's hilarious.
Happy New Year, Dakoza. Let's see. Yeah, it can be turned off in the FMS. Yeah. Man, that's our winds are 294 at 146 knots. Woo! Look at the wing flex.
Holy crap.
Passengers
Like
are that seatbelt sign's not coming off right now.
Yeah, no.
I'm a genius. I know. Look at that.
That's pretty.
Wow, that was really cool. I liked that view. And this one's even better. Whoa. The Project Fly banner up there is blocking the sun a little bit. Watch this. Wow. We're on our modified route to Dulles. Oh, you know what I should do now that we're at cruise. If I click on Prague, how do I get my top of descent? What's that under? Thought that would be under Prague.
It will not give you top of descent until you're within a certain range of it. So right now, well, actually, because I think it's got the step climb in there thing too. Go to initial reference real quick. Let's see if we can get rid of the step climb notification. Maybe not at this point.
Just this turbulence.
Yeah, go to index. And go to perf. Or wait, no, not perf. Yeah, perf. Let's see if it goes. Yeah, change step size ICAO to 0.
Okay.
And then go back into your progress page now. Let's see what's there. Yeah, so that gets rid of the step climb. So the top of descent notification will come in when you're a certain range from top of descent.
Okay.
It's going to be like 200 or a little bit beyond, I think.
I better choose my my arrival.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So we're going to do index IAD, and we're doing the Cavalier 3 with the runway 1 transition. Actually, I should probably do a METAR. I can get a METAR in the plane, can't I?
Yes, you can.
Right there, it's winds 200 at 7, so we can land I'm just going to land one right. So Cavalier 301 Bravo. Yep. And then I'm going to do the ILS 1 right. And I'm going to come via thump with the, yeah, turn, okay. Execute that, and then go back into the legs page. And just, yep, it's got the altitudes in there. So now we should have, so you're, okay, I missed the part where you said the TFD will come in when?
Usually, I think on the 747, it's around 250 or 200 miles out. Will show something like that.
It's weird that it
Maybe.
doesn't do it now, because you think it could calculate it.
Oh, I'm sure it could. I think it's just.
And
for-
and also, not to mention,
Mistake.
you can see where it happens. It
yeah,
happens.
if you back out the.
It happens between FAC and thump.
Right, you can see on there,
Yeah.
and if you zoomed out the ND enough, if it's you
Yeah.
can probably see it on there because you can get up to like 600 some odd miles in the ND.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I see it. Cool.
And then beware if you notice on the leg page when you're scrolling through, there is a vectors part of that that you'll want to be aware of.
Oh yeah, coins, vectors to Mosby.
Yeah. So you could just take that out now if you want to, but yeah, whatever.
I can self-vectorize myself. I've been known to do that on purpose and on accident.
Vectorize.
You can use that.
Yeah, it's very blustery up here, isn't it?
I'll take a picture of my pilot friend just sent me a picture of him in his cockpit, so I'm gonna send him a picture of me in my cockpit. It is very, very windy, and I don't know if I like it. It appears on the progress page about 30 minutes before top of descent. Okay. And you can step through the plan and it displays the TD icon. All right. People are like, I need to go to the bathroom.
Have you seen the Key and Peele sketch about the airline seatbelt sign bathroom?
I have not.
Oh, it is gold.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, it is gold. Someone shared that with me on stream last week or so. We watched it on stream. It was hilarious.
We need an FS economy that takes advantages of these fine PMDG aircraft. But they don't. Someone win the lottery and let's program up a new economy for tubes. Because a lot of people have ideas and there's no traction because, well, in the end it's a money-losing venture. But let's do it anyway. Let's do it as a labor of love. Speaking of labor of loves, I have to do a big shout out to SimBrief because they provide an amazing service for free. And we did a group donation to them. It's been a little while since we did that, but that was nice. And I just want to give a big thank you, SimBrief. Thank you, VatSim. Thank you, volunteers, for all these great things that we have.
Here, here.